with only words in the building exclusives. Oh, hello, Barnes. You feel bunny soldier. No, you fuck off, Mrs. Gandolini. We didn't even get. Again, welcome everybody to the May Directors Chat. This is our last chat of the 2023 season. We will be going into pre-camp meetings after this. Doesn't stop for us, but it does stop for you. We're excited to get back to camp. Again, welcome everybody to the May Directors Chat. We will start in a couple of minutes. Excellent. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, I am Drew Rudlewski. I'm the Reservation Director for Griswold Scout Reservation. Next to me, I have Brett Branscombe, who is the Camp Carpenter Director of everything at Carpenter. He is the man over there. So we thank you both for, we thank you all for coming into our last Directors Chat of the 2023 season. As we could see over at Kristen, she has Miss Little Baby Carpenter over there. So everybody wish her a hello, and we're glad to see Kristen and the baby. So again, we wanted to welcome everybody. Sorry, Allison couldn't make it tonight. This is our last Director's Chat of the 2023 season. The only thing that she had passed off for me to send to all of you is that invoices have been started on Friday, and she will continue working on that Monday and into the rest of the week. So invoices will be going out this week. With that, invoices, when you get that invoice email, you will also get the link for the week of med forms to put your med forms into the computer system for med forms. If anybody has any questions on that, please just let us know and we can assist you with that. I know Brett has some people on his side that will help with med forms as well as we do on GSR. So if you have any questions on that type of stuff, just let us know. Again, this is going to be a short meeting because it is May and we are all supercharged to go right into our camping season. I know Brett is getting ready to do his pre-camp meeting with you all. And we're going to jump right into breakouts. Hold on, I got a question. Yes, the med forms, Eric, are going to be link specific for each week. What about free weeks from camp cards? Brett, do you know anything about that? Or is that an Allison?
I do not know specifics on that.
So that's gonna be an Allison thing. Erin, if you could send her an email, we could put it in the chat. Brett or Kristen, somebody could throw Allison's email in the chat for me. And we'll get that out to you. Prerequisites for zoology merit badge, Leah. We'll get into programming when we're on the GSR side. Charlene, we were just talking about that all of the invoices will started on Friday and they'll continue to go out this week. And Allison's email is at the bottom. So if anybody has any questions about registrations like that, please go through Allison, as well as the MedForm system. Please reach out to us and we'll get you through it. So with that, we're going to have the Camp Carpenter people going to stay right where you are. GSR, we're going to move over into our breakout room and we will see you all shortly.
And we'll give just a minute for those folks to filter over there. And if anyone is still in here and you were hoping to get over the GSR breakout, let me know and I can send you that way.
Can I get over to GSR? Heidi
Yep.
Frazier?
Heidi Coles also.
Yep.
Thank you.
And Tom Lester for GSR, thank you.
Sure thing.
Alice Rocky for GSR as well, please.
Okay. How many buttons to press? GSR, yeah. Seeing these ones in chat and getting those over there.
Reno should go to GSR, please.
Okay. All right. I think I've got so what we're going to be doing today is our pre-camp meeting. So we're going to do sort of a top to bottom. What are the things that you as leaders or leaders in your unit need to know coming into camp? Not a huge amount that's changed from what we've been saying in the past months. I don't think there are any major changes other than I have a pat. Ooh. I don't know how well you can see it on your screens, but it's very circus themed and it's super, super cool 4-inch pack. And so on and so on. So if Melissa, if you want me to ship you over to GSR, then I can do that. And we'll have the recording up as well. So we can make all that happen. Recording is happening right now. Yeah. All right. So yeah, Melissa, let me know if you want me to send you over to GSR. I can do that. In the meantime, welcome everybody. We are going to be talking about Camp Carpenter in 2023 and all the awesome, super cool things that'll be happening. Super great. My name is Brett Branscombe. I'm the camp director at Camp Carpenter for all of the wonderful programs that we have going on, our overnight camp program and our day and family camp programs happening through Granite Base Camp as well. Just lots of super cool stuff. So we'll run through, I'll have some stuff and my co-patriots here will have some things as well. And then we'll see what questions people still have and we will go from there. Hopefully we can answer as many of those as possible before we get done today. And for once, my count and my Chronolix count agree. It's always a good sign. There are 49 days until week 1 of summer camp overnight, and that is only 7 weeks away. So it is coming right around the corner. It's a grand old time. We had lots of people around camp this past weekend. Claw and slaw trainings happening. We had our service team come in. There was roofing projects. There was painting projects. There was more wood chipping projects, I'm sure. The docks have gone in for the season, so it's starting to look a lot like camp. And joining me here, we have our program director, the one in charge of all of the fun in the universe, Kristen Farrell. Kristen's gonna wave.
Hello. Sorry, she's crying.
And Camilla, making sure I say it right. Camilla, I got it.
It's
Camilla.
Yeah.
Cool.
She's saying hi. She has a lung like me already.
Excellent, excellent. And joining me also, we have our head curator, Alex Sager. doing the traditional head commissioner wave. Yes, excellent. And so our team is definitely coming together. We've got a lot of folks who are excited to have. We think we're going to have a really great crew. We definitely still have some openings and some spots where people could help out. So as always, if you or anyone you know is interested in helping out, whether that's a day a week or some days a week or a week out of the summer or something, let me know and we'll see what we can make happen. The more the merrier in this crazy crew that makes this place run. And I'll talk a little bit more about some stuff later on, but I'm gonna ship it over to Alex Hager to talk about some of the registration and pre-camp bits.
Sure. So making sure that your pack rosters are as updated as possible before you come to camp. That way, when I print them out and give them to our staff guides, they are as accurate as can be. So please make sure that before you arrive at camp, your roster is all set. If for some reason you can't update the roster online, then definitely send me an email. I can put my email in the chat of any roster changes that you need made, and then I can work on getting that sorted out. It's important to have those rosters updated so that we know how many people we're going to have in camp for the week. We can have the right amount of wristbands put together, leaders badges, any visitors that you're going to plan on having throughout the week. It'd be cool if you got that list to us ahead of time, just so that we know like who's coming, what days, just for security reasons and making sure that we are all good to go. If you know of any scouts or leaders that are going to be arriving late on Sunday during check-in, it would be great if we knew that ahead of time as well, just so we can prep our staff guys and say, like, hey, these people are going to be arriving late. Don't wait 3 hours for them to show up or whichever. That's always a good thing to know. If on Sunday, there's people who may be like tardy, but not, they're still on their way, definitely, do your best to contact them, get us little update on their ETAs, just so we can move all of the move all the packs around at the right times. Will multiple registration groups show up on a single roster? I'll show a full roster again somewhere else. Okay, Brett's answering that question because I don't have access to that system at all, so I don't know. We're working it out. On to that. Another thing to make sure that you all leaders attending camp have done ahead of time is youth protection training. Daniel Webster Council requires that every leader does it once a year, and that needs to be done before you come to camp. And so the expiration date needs to be after the summer. So definitely make sure that you have those. If your certification is not up to date, then we will have you sit down on a computer on camp and do that youth protection training. So that is current, and we are ready to go for that. Accommodation forms. I saw a question a little while back about sending in accommodation forms. Yes, you can email me and Brett those accommodation forms for any food allergies or any physical limitation restrictions or anything like that. Definitely send us those accommodation forms, and we will do our best to accommodate you. Let's see, on to Sunday morning. So leaders, as has always been in the past, leaders arrive at camp 8 a.m. at the earliest. That is when I will be at the camp office ready to check you in. Then you can drive down to your campsite and start unloading things there. Vehicles will be allowed on the road with a vehicle pass up until 9 a.m. on Sunday. So you have from 8 to 9 to drive down to your site, unload, and then park in the leader's parking lot. And then once your scouts start arriving, then their stuff, you need to be carrying their stuff to the campsite. There's no vehicles other than the camp vehicles on the road during that time. And then at 9:15 will be our leaders meeting in Manning Hall, where you'll get your pack folder for the week, and if there's any other updates that we will give you throughout the, for that specific week, then we do that at leaders meeting as well. Leaders' swim checks will be done with their unit as they are going around camp. We just want to keep everybody together, get it all done at once. And so we're just going to streamline it with the leaders doing their swim checks with their Cub Scouts all at the same time. At 11:30 is the leader's lunch. Then you'll meet your staff guide, the staff member that's going around with your pack to, check you guys in and do the camp tour and all of that. In your leader folder, you'll get 2 lunch tickets. And if you need more lunch tickets, then let us know. Typically, we ask that it's just like the leaders that come to leaders lunch. Of course, if you have the little ones that need to come with you, then definitely let us know ahead of time so we can let our cooks know how much food to prepare, and we'll get you those extra lunch tickets as well. For arriving, we're looking into slightly changing around the arrival procedures. It's not set in stone yet, but we're looking into something similar like last year with the different arrival times. But once that gets finalized and updated, we will let you know about that. In the campsite, make sure that if there's something that your campsite needs, let a staff member know. Let me know. Of course, you're welcome to bring your own tents and put them inside the tents if you desire. I know some adult leaders like to do that. If you are setting up bug nets for your campers and for you, just make sure that we only use the little strings that come with the bug net in the bug net kit. So we're not using duct tape, not using zip ties or anything like that. That just makes more work for the staff later on as we're checking your campsites. And we want to make it neat and as clean as possible. So try using just the strings that come in. Sorry, my cat just knocked something over in case you heard that. Yeah, let's see. Is there any other questions that are there? Brett's been answering. Fantastic. Okay. And with that, I believe that is everything on my list. So I will pass it over to the person in charge of all the fun in the entire world, Kristen Farrell.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah, in charge of all of the fun. That is for sure all the fun. So what I get to talk about is a lot of stuff that we've heard in the past. Some of you, I don't know if all of you have been to Camp Carpenter before. If you haven't, we're super excited to have you this summer. But if you have been at Camp Carpenter, we're super excited to have you come to camp again and again and again. Even if your child has left the Cub Scouts and you're still coming to Camp Carpenter, keep up the good work. You got this. So awesome. First off, we will have free choice again this summer. So that is after snack time, my favorite part of the day, snack time. So we'll have our free choice. Certain areas will be open. We'll let you know what areas are open during our flag ceremony in the morning, like we have done in the past with those staff members. Typically we have waterfront open and a shooting sports open and swarm open. And then we might have maybe STEM will be open or handicraft or some other area will be open during that time. Program choice form has been posted on social media. I know for sure. I don't know if it's been sent to the packs, but it has been posted. And I will put that. I think I can post that. Or maybe Brett will post the link for the program choice form on there. Right now I see 21 responses. That's super awesome. We need that up more. So just make sure you put the week that you're gonna go, and I will be able to do that in the future, figuring out what your schedule will be. Typically you'll get that on that Sunday morning when you come to camp. And that will most likely happen again this summer. That Sunday that you come to camp for that leaders meeting, you'll get your folders. Your schedule for the week will be there during that time. If I don't get your program choice form, typically I try to email one of the leaders that weekend, or not weekend, but the week before. And if I'm really, really active, 2 weeks before, I'll email you. Well, we'll get there. You'll get an email, or please fill it out for me so I don't have to hunt you down. Or you'll get whatever I put on your schedule, but it'll be awesome anyway. So that is going to happen. Yes. Oh, can the packs be split for things that really, I can do my best. If you want to, if you email me and let me know, we can see if another pack is happening at that time, or you can communicate me during the week and I can see if the staff for that activity is available. And typically for Whittling Chip, we do, that is also where we do our life-size games. So that will be there as well for those scouts who either have already done Whittling Chip or are too young to do Whittling Chip. So there is another activity that can be done at the same location for those young ones or for those older scouts who've already done it. Siesta will still be there right after lunchtime, one of our other favorite times of the day. Let's just say the whole schedule is my favorite time of the day, but I like the downtime sometimes. So that will also happen where they can go to the trading post, or you can just go back to your sites and relax. Showers can happen during that time because who doesn't like to shower? But great time for the scouts and for you as adults to just decompress from how busy the day has been. There are still sign-up activities on the program choice form that are just pack run activities. So like the nature scavenger hunt is still there, and a couple other activities that you can do as a pack. If you are showers, if you want some den time, some packs like to have that little free part of the day that they can just do their own pack activity. There's the museum will also be available again this summer, and conservation projects with Ranger Steve is also a super exciting thing. And Ranger Steve loves having the packs help him from doing something at camp. Well, it'll be at camp, but something like doing wood chips, or even last year we had a turtle. They helped, a pack helped with a turtle. You never know what Ranger Steve has on his agenda for you. So please sign up for that, and he really likes hanging out with all of you guys. As I talked about life-size games, this year's theme, as Brett kind of made this cool bedazzle, is under the big top. So that will be our theme this year. I'm not looking forward to the clowns because I'm not a clown person. So I don't think of it as clowns. I think of it as just another type of circus. But that will be happening. We will have our Cup Carnival as we've done in the past, and we will have to be continued for the additional camp-wide activity, because obviously we can't have 2 Cup Carnivals because that would be silly. But we will have our Scouts Own service on Monday. We will have the OA come as we've had in the past. So they'll also come, and then we'll do our main activity with Under the Big Top, and we will do our Cup Carnival as well. So those are the activities. We also have our campfires, which we like to talk about. On Sunday is when the staff put on the campfire for all of you and the scouts. And then on Thursday is when the scouts and you as adults put on a campfire for the families and us. So start practicing those. I know you guys have at least one, maybe one more pack meeting or going on. So please practice that. And don't forget, my favorite and Camilla's favorite is going to be the invisible bench. I don't know how, because she doesn't know how to be quiet, but it is going to be her favorite skit. So please do that. And days of the week will be happening this summer. Don't you worry, for those leaders who like days of the week. Oh, Christmas flag ceremony. Oh, that is a great idea. I never thought of that. Brett, did you ever think of that? No. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know if we can fix that for this summer. But if you want to email me, and you can also on the week that you're at camp, that's probably easier, but you can email me too, so I can kind of remember to put your pack to do that. That is so genius. Oh my goodness. Let me see. Ooh. All right. So there's my email. So if you have any questions about program, you can email kristen.farrell@dwccamping.org. I love emails. So if you want to email and just say hi, I'm okay with that too. So that is pretty much what I have. The main thing, invisible bench, program choice form, please. And for everyone to come to camp and have an awesome time at camp? Up to you, Brett. Da-da-da.
Super cool. So Kristen talked about some of our evening programs on Monday and Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have our what? Did you say Wednesday too? What?
No, I forgot because I got excited about campfire and invisible bench.
Did you want to talk more about Monday and Tuesday?
I could Thursday and Tuesday.
What?
I talked about Monday. I said to be determined.
Okay, perfect.
But Wednesday is our pack out night. I did not say that. We have pack out night on Wednesday where you, as mostly the leaders, but the scouts and you will make your meal on a campfire at your pack site, which is super awesome. You'll have hot dogs and so on and so forth. You can have other yummy food as well on the campfire, or you can just call out to other places. We have at Camp Carpenter House of Pizza that you can buy pizza from camp, and we'll have Mr. Ager and who else knows will drive it to you or walk it to you, whatever we have available, and you will get that and a soda if you would like for your pack, and it's super awesome. Carpenter House of Pizza. If you would like to, parents are also welcome to come on that day. Packs do not have to invite their parents or grandparents or adults in this kid's life. That's not mandatory, but it is something that people are able to come to on Wednesday night. Is our pack out night. All right, sorry. Now, Brett, you can continue.
Do you want me to talk about Thursday?
Oh my God, I don't even know what day it is now, I guess.
I can if you want me to. It's up to you.
I could talk about it. I could talk about
right.
everything. No, just kidding. On Thursday, as I already said, is our closing campfire, which I did talk about that because that's the cool part. But it is also our family barbecue that will also happen, so that you can buy tickets on Sunday for that. Families can come to that meal. It's a barbecue, and once the barbecue is over, then the campfire begins. Unless you are in AOL and you stay for our bridge program, which is the program just for those AOLs to stay, and their parents can come, but we'll have a ceremony after the closing campfire, and then they'll get to hang out with the staff, and then the morning they'll do Scout BSA skills, and then they will get to do a closing ceremony that the parents will come to pick them up at, and that's typically at 10, I believe, for the closing for our bridge program. It's 10, right? 11. Okay, I didn't want to say the wrong time. Sometimes you want parents to make sure they're there on time, but so 11 is for that, and you can sign up for that, I think, on Sunday still, but I also think it might be on the registration. I'm not quite sure on that end. But if it's not, you can sign up on Sunday for that. Definitely recommend to do that. All right. I think I went through the whole week. See, I'm not sure. Nope. Sunday. I don't talk about Sunday except the opening campfire. So I went through most of the day for you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Kristen. So lots of awesome, cool things happening. Kristen mentioned our pack out night on Wednesday. We've also got the Carpenter House of Pizza. I know she said it. I just like to highlight it. I like pizza. It's a grand old time. And a note on the bridge on the registration. Yes, and so it is in the registration system. It's a separate ticket item rather than like an add-on item, so it can be wonky to find. If you're able to find it on there, fantastic, awesome. If you are not able to find it on there, we're going to make it work. We'll send people up on Sunday. We'll make sure that anyone who is looking to attend that is going to be able to attend that. We're not going to cut that off on May 31st or anything like that. We'll make sure that we get everyone in there. Super cool. And yes. For the bridge program, if you do have scouts in your unit staying over, we ask you to have leaders for that as well at a 1-to-8 ratio. If you have 5 parents whose kids are all attending the bridge program, they all want to stay, by all means, they're all welcome to stay. If you're having some trouble finding, one or two leaders from your unit to stay as well, just reach out to us, let us know. We generally have plenty of adults around. We have our staff sort of filling in as patrol leaders for this model camp out, and there's usually plenty of coverage. Just reach out to us and we'll make it work. And then Scott, did you have a question?
I did, but then Danielle clarified it in chat the way to find the bridge program. So
Awesome.
you do a registration just like we did for everybody else, but if you're adding it afterwards, you say that the youth is 9 to 11, and then
Oh, yes.
bridge shows up. You don't choose the 7 to 11 or 6 to 11, whatever it is. You chose the older group and bridge shows up.
Yes. Which will go on my list of quirks to ask about in the future. Great. And then entered in the chat as well, but those barbecue tickets for a Thursday barbecue, or if you have anyone who's visiting visitors coming in visiting, who are staying for a meal, extra meal tickets at any point during the week are $15. We'll ask your pack how many people you think will be staying for the barbecue. We'll be able to sort of pre-sell a certain number of those, and we'll again have some available there as well. We just like to get an idea so we have a roughly accurate food count going into that. A couple notes on medical things. The med forms, as we mentioned earlier, there should be a link coming out along with your final invoice for that submission. It will be a different link for each week, but that does mean if someone in your unit has that link, you can share it with other people in your unit because you're all attending for the same week. So we'll make that work from there. Our goal has typically been to get those as complete as they can be for May 31st. Looking at the calendar, we will understand if it's not entirely complete by May 31st. I just encourage people to get those done as quickly as they can, so we have time to review them and hopefully get back to you all about what pieces might be missing before we get to camp. And I strongly advise units to have copies with them at camp as well. So of at least A and B is a good practice for any events, certainly for longer events like this. Medications. Anyone bringing medications to camp, and that means anybody, any humans with medications, youth humans, adult humans, den chief in between the youth and adult humans, will all need to turn in their medications. Those are prescription and over-the-counter medications to the Med Lodge to make sure that we have controlled access to those, and so on and so on. So it's important that those come in original containers, or in with a original prescription attached, or we've been talking a little bit about pill packs as an opt-in, if that's something that you've looked into and that's an opt-in that makes sense for your individual circumstances. Those count as they are individually labeled from the pharmacy, things like that. Please do not show up with a Ziploc bag that's just a grab bag of medications for the week. Please do not do that. And same with sort of like the weekly planner sort of layouts of things. We really need things in their original containers so that we have the prescription information as well as the dosing and all that sort of stuff. Super great. And there was a question earlier about accommodation form. I think that form is floating around somewhere. If you have it, absolutely feel free to email that into me. If you can't find the particular form, you can just email me and say we've got an accommodation request, and I'll process it from there. The pill pockets. So the pill packs are something that's being recommended. It's not a requirement. It's an option and a recommendation, but not strictly required. And I think those are my med sort of things. We have had for the last couple of years a COVID screening checklist. I'm imagining we will have something similar, but I haven't heard a final call from our medical officer on that yet. Whether it's COVID specific or just general communicable disease screening, we may have that we send out and ask people to do ahead of time. So the June 3rd swim check, I don't know the details on registration for that. I know the aquatics committee is planning on doing a swim check day at Camp Carpenter on June 3rd. I will reach out and work on sharing more information on that when I get it. But I know they are still planning on June 3rd at Camp Carpenter doing that swim check day. And I'm going to swing it back to Ager to talk a little bit about a preview of what sort of the end of the week looks like. And we'll go from there.
All right, the end of the week for checking out of your campsite. So on Thursday, I'll be coming around to ask you or whatever leader in your pack is in charge, like what time would you like to check out on Thursday? And basically the checkout procedure is making sure your campsite is all good to go. The things are packed up out of the tents. It doesn't have to be completely moved out to the parking lot for any trailers or vehicles. It just needs to be out of the tents at the very least, just so that we can make sure that if there's any tents that need to be fixed or replaced, we get that down right away. And so you'll find a time with me. We'll do your final campsite inspection. And then also just making sure that, if there's anything that is, out of the ordinary, anything like that, we can make note of that in the checkout as well. Let's see. Also, part of the checkout procedures will be turning in, what's the word for it? I can't think of the word for it right now. If it comes to me, I'll pop it up in my head. So just making sure that that is all good to go. If you have people staying for bridge, and your bridge program typically uses Chicoroa campsite as their home base, and then they overflow into Lion's Den if we have that many campers in the bridge program. But if you're staying in Chicoroa campsite and you have scouts staying for bridge, those tents do not need to be packed up, because that can just be an easy move in case that patrol needs to be moved somewhere else. But they'll be meeting ahead of time at the end of the day on Thursday. I believe they meet at 4 after snack. I'm not entirely sure. I forget when the bridge program meets off the top of my head. But they'll meet on Thursday. They'll meet the rest of their patrol and their patrol leader, and they'll be good to go for that. And then, as Kristen mentioned earlier, on Friday is the final bridge ceremony at our parade field, and that starts at 11. So any grown-ups that are coming to pick up your bridge campers will want to make sure that they are at camp before 11 so that they can be ready to be at the parade field for the ceremony to start at 11. All right. And that is my end of the week. So throw it back to Brett.
Excellent. Thank you. So we've got lots of stuff going along and lots of stuff coming up, and we're super excited. We hope you are too. Hope your packs are. And a couple other things coming up in June. We have the second weekend in June, June 10th to 11th, our Den Chief overnight training. That is also on the same website as the overnight camp registration. You have to pick a different age bracket. I think that's the 11 to 17 one. Again, slight quirks with that, but that registration is there and available. So if your pack has Den Chiefs you'd like to send to that, or if you have other people you know of who would like to do that, that is there. And that weekend on just the Saturday is also our camp setup day. So that will be the day that will have as many people as we can come onto property and help finish as much of the physical setup and cleaning of getting stuff ready for the beginning of camp, so that when our staff arrive for training, we can spend most of our time on training and making sure that we get really, really awesome program happening. that will be, like I said, June 10th. And if you or your family or your unit are interested in volunteering, those could be big projects or small projects. Steve has many things for people of all ages and skill levels. You can email stephenp.hamilton@scouting.org. I believe I was have to remind myself of that one. Yep. You can email Stephen Hamilton, our camp ranger, and he'd be happy to work you into the plan. Those can range anything from helping set up canvas or sweeping off tent platforms or moving cots to helping place trash barrels or maybe some miscellaneous roofing projects still, but I think we mostly got that one done this weekend, so that's good. And that's the other big one. So lots of excitement, lots of great things happening as we go in, and whatever questions you have at this point, we'll try and answer them and knock them out before we let you go until we see you at camp. Go ahead, Scott.
For the service weekend, if we're going to be there both days, are we welcome to camp there? And if so, do we make arrangements with Steve or do we purchase a site?
I would email Steve, ask him about that. I think we usually try to work something out for units that are volunteering there. So I would ask Steve first and then go from there.
Okay, a unit of one is okay, right?
A unit of one?
Yeah, my son's going to the Den Chief day, so
Gotcha.
I'm going to be there. all weekend.
Yeah, I'd touch base with Steve and we'll see what we can do for that.
Awesome, thanks, Brett.
Totally. Yeah, Danielle,
Awesome. Hi, Brett. How are you?
we are living the dream.
Yay. A couple of questions. I'm sorry. I'm behind on some of this, so I just need to make sure I get it all up to date. We can still have scouts register, correct? As long as there's spacing in there?
Yes.
If we have if we're showing full, because I personally just registered my own daughter. I'm bringing everybody else's kids, but not my own this time, I guess. But I see we're almost full. If I have scouts that come in, can I reach out to you guys? Can we bring any extras with our pack? We've got, I think 13, but usually we average about 16.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. So you said that you can't see a roster, like our pack can't see which parents. We've just I haven't asked every single parent yet. So but it sounds like I actually need to ask every single parent whether they're sending their kids or not, correct? Because there's no central place. I see Erin shaking her head. So
at this point, I
this
would.
is the pain
Yeah.
point. Okay.
And hopefully that, I think what is being compiled as that final invoice, I imagine that's going to have the list of these are the people and what they've paid. But I haven't seen that yet, so I can't guarantee that information will be in that format.
No problem. And I'm wondering, I know council puts us as 0154, but I know my families will just put us in as 154 without that 0. So we may have some disparity there.
Oh yeah. There's about 700 variations of those. That is
Yeah.
the reason I haven't made my own rosters quite yet.
Gotcha. And then the last things, where's our leaders to be registering? When I went in to register, it's only giving me kid options, not leader options. Are we did I miss something?
So last I'd seen, there should have been an adult option somewhere on that dropdown. If you find it, fantastic. If you don't, we will make it work. We'll follow up either along with the invoicing or something like that.
Okay, yeah, if we follow up by invoicing, that's great. Do you want me to send you an email or
You could do that too. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just know we'll owe you money for our adults because we come with more than 2 adults when we bring that many kids for our own sanity.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So a couple of notes that are worth knowing for everyone. There's a cap on the registration number. You could consider that a soft cap if you're bumping up against that and have a couple people who haven't registered yet. Absolutely, reach out to me, shoot me an email, or me and Allison an email, and we'll adjust that. Those are more in place to make sure that we didn't suddenly have 250 people one week and 50 people another week and such things like that. So we can make adjustments there. And knowing there are some quirks that we've had with this registration system, I certainly am not going to be telling anyone who decides after May 31st that they can't come to camp because they haven't already registered. We're going to do our best to get them in the door and make it happen, whether that happens natively in the online system or it happens external to that. However we make it work, we're gonna get kids to camp who want to be at camp.
I thought there was like a drop down menu option for adults, and then you had to use the code to get them to come off as free.
I'm looking at it right now just to get over to the system under experiencebasecamp.org on Carpenter or overnight camps.
Yeah.
When I put in Carpenter, I'm only getting ages all under the ages 17 and a families, but there's no adult.
Yeah, so I think you have to pick the youth age,
Uh-huh.
and this is where it definitely makes a whole lot of sense. You have to pick 6 to 10 because that's what gets you to the Camp Carpenter program. And then as you're adding people, you can assign their ticket as an adult ticket.
Okay, I will go through that way then.
And then when you put people in, when you go to check out, it's going to ask you to pay $100 to reserve the spots for the scouts. And like the promo code for the free adults was CC Adult 2023, no spaces. And all caps, I don't know if that matters, but that's how I wrote it. So if you aren't sure if people are gonna sign up or are gonna go, you might not be able to register because you don't have that $100, right? Is that correct?
Are you asking Brett or I?
Yeah, I'm asking Brett.
That's what I thought.
I ended up having like 3 groups. I had like the first group that I knew was coming, and then I couldn't figure out the adults. So I have another group that has the adults in it. And then I had to make another group of another kid who ended up deciding that he was going to come. So like if you have people that you know are going to come and you already have their deposit, you could sign them up, or their full fee. But if there are people you're not sure about, you could, I think I would wait personally until you know and get a deposit. Or the full thing at this point, I don't know. Is that correct? Does that sound right, Brett?
That sounds about right to me.
Okay. Is that helpful?
And actually what I'm doing right now is I'm going through and I'm upping the soft cap so that none of them are blocked out right now. Slightly preemptive. Any other questions people have that we can hopefully try to answer right now? Excellent. And if not, as always, thank you all for everything you do for scouting and camping and the wonderful program. And we'll stick around and answer any other questions we have. Otherwise, we'll look forward to seeing you at camp. I haven't ordered the color changing slushy mugs yet. I am planning on doing a special run of color changing slushy mugs. So I'm planning on it.
I have a t-shirt question.
Very excited for that. I'm going to answer the when do we sign up for bridge question first, and then I'm happy to get to a t-shirt question. When do we sign up for bridge? Whenever you like. You can sign up for it now. You have to pick that separate age group to get to it on the registration system there. The 9 to 10 or 9 to 11, whichever one it got labeled as. It shows up as a separate item to order rather than an add-on to the week of camp. So it's a little quirky like that. If you don't get it registered in that way ahead of time, as always, we will make sure we get signed up. The people who need signed up as we're there at camp, we'll make sure anyone hoping to and planning to attend that is able to do so.
I have an adult t-shirt question.
Sure.
I know there was a way to sign up adults that did not request a t-shirt size, and then there was another way that it did request a t-shirt size. Does that mean if you do it the way where you did request a t-shirt size, you'll get a t-shirt?
It doesn't, so I'm not totally sure why it was set up to ask that. We'll have them available, and that's great information for us for what sizes we may need to order to have available. But they'll be available in the trading post, but adults do not get a free t-shirt, unfortunately. But the trading post. I'm also still going to make a push to have a second slushy machine and hopefully have the caffeinated slushy flavors. I'm gonna try. I gotta convince some people of that one. I'm all for it. And great, yeah. So if people have other questions or more specific questions, we'll certainly hang out and try and answer those after. But otherwise, have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see you soon at camp in summertime.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If it rains like it did last night, will we stay in our tents? Like I did last night?
Probably.
That's terrible. Thank you.
Good night, guys.
You too.
I have one more question, but I was trying to be
Sure.
good and ask it in front of everyone. I know it's been talked for years of updating the packet. It looks like at quick glance, because I'm really behind, sorry, guys. That the checklist for the kids got updated this year. Is that true?
I think I updated, but I know there are things that I missed that either should have
Okay.
made it on there or should have not be on before.
Okay, so I'm hearing you say I should still proceed with documenting the list that my pack has been asking me for years to do from experience, just to share with them.
Sure.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Okay. We played the game. Is Kathleen still listening? Oh no. Okay.